Christina Onnested. Primary elections took place in 7 states Tuesday, including in California, where voters recalled San Francisco's progressive district attorney in a blow to criminal justice reform. The vote was overwhelming. 60% of voters backed the recall. Chesa Boudin took office in 2021 and faced 2 recall attempts. The first one failed, but the second recall, backed by Republican billionaires and police, pushed a half-true narrative of rising crime, citing a rise in homicides, though homicide is up by 2 compared to the same time last year. It was also on the rise before Boudin took office, then dipped his first year. Boudin spoke about his loss last night.
I want to be very clear about what happened tonight. The right-wing billionaires outspent us 3-1. They exploited an environment in which people are appropriately upset. And they created an electoral dynamic where we were literally shadow boxing. Voters were not asked to choose between criminal justice reform and something else. They were given an opportunity to voice their frustration and their outrage, and they took that opportunity.
Boudin ran on a progressive platform and was the first district attorney in San Francisco to charge a police officer for killing a civilian. He pushed policies like ending cash bail and launched a wrongful conviction unit that led to the release of an innocent man who spent decades in prison. Boudin says the battle is not over, indicating he may make another bid for district attorney in the next election. In Los Angeles, Democratic Congresswoman Karen Bass and billionaire developer Rick Caruso breezed to a runoff election for mayor in November. Bass would become the first woman and second black mayor of the nation's second most populous city. Primary elections took place across 7 states. White supremacy was the topic of a hearing at the Senate Judiciary Committee Tuesday. The hearing comes in the wake of a mass shooting in Buffalo, New York, where a white gunman killed 10 African Americans at a supermarket. Christopher Martinez reports.
The committee heard from a panel of witnesses called by each party. First up, Garnell Whitfield, the son of 86-year-old Ruth Whitfield, the oldest victim of the Buffalo shooting.
This wasn't an act of God. This was an act of a person, and he did not act alone. He was radicalized by white supremacists. His anger and hatred were metastasized like a cancer by people with big microphones in high places screaming that black people were going to take away their jobs and opportunities.
Another witness called by Democrats was Robert Pape, a political science professor and director of the Chicago Project on Society and Threats. He says recent attacks like the Buffalo mass shooting are not the continuation of a trend, but a change driven by extreme theories moving from fringe to mainstream, like white replacement theory, the belief that people of color are taking over.
The key characteristic of the over 800 individuals charged in connection with the attack on the Capitol is that they are middle-class whites residing in counties with the most loss of white population share, exactly who would most likely fear the Great Replacement as described by prominent political and media leaders. These violent ideas are widespread in the U.S. population, and we need to prepare for potential political violence in the future. The last time America saw middle-class whites involved in collective political violence was the expansion of the second KKK in the 1920s.
Reporting for Pacifica Radio News KPFA, I'm Christopher Martinez.
Russia's foreign minister is in Turkey and guaranteed the shipment of grain that's been blocked at the Black Sea port if Ukraine removes sea mines. An estimated 22 million tons of grain are sitting in silos in Ukraine. Sergei Lavrov's comments were translated by Al Jazeera.
Any vessel wishing to use these corridors either for loading or unloading grain is free to do so. We also have some demining activities going on, but a few days ago Mr. Zelensky asked for weapons that can be used against Russian ships, so that's a clear signal of what their intentions are. But if Ukraine is ready to start demining activities, then we are too. We're discussing the details with Turkish defense units.
Kiev has expressed concerns if it removes mines from the Black Sea ports, Russia would be able to attack its southern coast. Ukraine is one of the world's largest exporters of wheat, corn, and sunflower oil, but the war and a Russian blockade have halted much of that flow, endangering global food supplies. I'm Christina Onnested reporting for Pacifica Radio.